you have to be careful about not undermining the authority of your kids with their kids. And so it's not okay for mom and dad to say, here's the boundary. When, they're at your house, grandma and grandpa, we don't want them on the iPad for more than an hour. And then grandma and grandpa blow that off. That's not okay. The parent who ends up giving more autonomy on this is going to undermine the rules or the boundaries that the other parent is wanting to hold to. This is why it's so important to work hard to get on the same page, because if I've got a rule, or if you say, hey kids, I don't want you to have your smartphone in bed. And I'm like, it's okay. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to enforce your rule. And then the kids are what are they going to do? They're going to tend towards,
of course,
the freedom.
Yes.
Right. And so they're going to blow your rule off, and they're going to blow you off. And so there's a larger issue here of the undermining of the other parent's authority. And even if we disagree, we have to agree to be united. And that we've had that rule as a couple, is like, even if you disagree with me when I'm in the middle of talking to one of the kids, if you step in and disagree with me there. Now, of course, we're not talking about something like if I'm, I don't know, harming the kid or something like that, or being verbally abusive, which doesn't happen, just to be clear. I'm just trying to give some examples.
I'm glad you're the example in this. Usually I'm the one you throw under the bus, so this feels good.
No, I'm setting those examples aside.
Right, when you would need to
intervene.
Yes,
aside.
when you need to intervene for
the protection of your kid.
But in general, of course, the majority of situations are you might just disagree with your spouse in how they're handling a situation, but it's better to let them handle it and later on talk to them about it.
Yeah. So
when emotions are not so high.
Yeah. So that idea that if you're not on the same page, you can end up undermining the parental authority of the other parent. That should be enough to get us to say, okay, let's work hard to be on the same page.
Yeah.
And so there are plenty of resources that can help us.
Yeah, which makes me think of grandparents too, because I know some of you listening might have grandparents that don't see all the issues with technology maybe that you see. I mean, this could be flipped, right? There could be grandparents listening who are like, my kids are letting my grandkids, do whatever on technology, and I'm worried.
I think that's more of it.
Yeah.
More grandparents are expressing their concern because they grew up in a different era, which we can often dismiss. It's actually good that they grew up in a different era. So they're not shaped. They're not simply absorbing everything that's going on right now uncritically. And so sometimes they're actually more critical thinkers about this.
Yeah. But there could be the option. Actually, I'm thinking of some friends we know that it was when they dropped off at grandma and grandpa's, there was like no limits on the iPads.
Oh, yeah.
It's that sort of thing. So again, trying to reason with them, trying to learn with them, show them things that are informed on the position that you have, like why you're doing it. And that can help so much more to bring the other person to agreement with you, or, bring them on your side and at least see, hey, I've put some thought into this. I'm not just going off of, instinct or just being emotional about it or being scared about it or something.
That's where grandparents, if you're a grandparent who's listening, you have to be careful about not undermining the authority of your kids with their kids. And so it's not okay for mom and dad to say, here's the boundary. When, they're at your house, grandma and grandpa, we don't want them on the iPad for more than an hour. And then grandma and grandpa blow that off. That's not okay. And so, because there's a deeper issue there of the undermining of parental authority, and parents get undermined by this culture at every turn. And as Christians, And in the church and the Christian community, we should be doing everything we can to enhance and protect and strengthen parental authority. Because as parental authority gets weakened, it's not good for the culture.